Guys, it's Sarah, and today I have an update on some TV shows that I have recently binge watched. So I have this little journal where I keep track of all the TV shows that I am either in the middle of or I have watched or that I want to watch. And I keep track of them in here by the episode and season so that I can make some progress and I kind of remember where I am in some of them if it's been a while since I've watched them. And I just keep track in here. And then after I watch, usually I try to keep it around 5 TV shows that I have either caught up on or finished. I will give you guys an update and let you know what I've been watching lately. So here is an update on the last, I think 5 that I have watched. Okay, so we're going to start with the biggest one. This is the one that I watched the most from because I really did binge this, and it's an anime. But I watched My Hero Academia, and I watched this with my daughter, Kaylin. She is really into anime, and she had seen some of this already before and wanted me to watch it with her because she thought that I would like it, because she said she knows that I like training things. She knows that I like magic schools. She knows that I like all that kind of stuff and trials and all those things. And I was like, yeah, I do. She's like, I think you would really like it, Mom, and I would love to spend that time with you watching this. And I was like, okay, pull at my heartstrings. So we did. We started making some time and we sat down and we watched it together and watched all 5 seasons that are out. And I'm not going to lie, I really, really liked it. I was surprised. I thought it was just going to be something where it was just on and it was fine and, okay, mildly interesting. It was more about spending time with her. But I ended up really, really liking this anime. I'm excited for the next season to come out whenever that's going to happen. But it does follow this world where people are heroes. There's heroes and there's villains. And you can go to My Hero Academia, which is the school that you learn your skills, because everyone has their own powers and you come into you just grow into them and you figure out what they are as you're growing up. And that is where you learn to really use them to your advantage. You learn how to defeat people, and, you're put into all these trials where you actually have to fight, simulations and villains and things and rescuing people and doing all that stuff because you're learning to become a hero, basically. And yeah, I really, really liked it a lot. That's a very basic description of it. There's obviously a lot more that goes into it and a lot more that's happening. But if you've watched it, my favorite is Icy Hot. If you know, you know. I also love Bakugo. He's kind of one of my favorite things. So for this one, my daughter and I watched this on Funimation, an app, I guess. And yeah, so that's how we watched it. I don't know if it's anywhere else, to be honest, but that's how we watched it. Okay, now we're going to go back to Supernatural because I'm still watching it. I have, since my last update, I've watched 2 full seasons. I watched season 7 and season 8. Season 8 was a lot. Woo, season 8 got dark, but I really liked it a lot. I can't get enough of the show. It's so much fun. I'm currently in the middle of season 9. I think I'm I might be a little bit more than halfway through season 9 now. So I am still making my way through it. My goal is to actually finish this show in its entirety by the end of this year because there's 15 seasons. I'm in the middle of season 9. So I can definitely do that. It's just the seasons are long. They're 20 plus episodes per season, an hour each. So it's something that does take some time, but it's such a fun binge. And I love the Winchesters so much. They're so much fun and they're so funny and witty, and the writing in this show is just spectacular. It's so clever, and yeah, it's so much fun. So still making my way through Supernatural, but since my last update, I have made it through 2 full seasons. And then this one is on Netflix. All 15 seasons are on Netflix. Okay, let's talk about a brand new to me show. I watched the first season of The Morning Show. Ooh, this is on Apple TV Plus. And this one has Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon and Steve Carell are all in it. And it follows a morning news show. Literally, it's the morning show. They're a morning, I hate to call it a news show because it's not really. It's more of a Kelly and Ryan, if you will, or almost like the Today Show, possibly. So there is some important news things that they're following and all that, but they also have like little funny bits and they have musical guests and they have all that stuff. So it's following the environment there. And when the show opens up, Jennifer Aniston and Steve Carell are the anchors for that show. They are the stars of that show. And in the very beginning of the first episode of season 1, you find out that Steve Carell's character has been accused of sexual misconduct. And so they're dealing with the fallout from that. So basically he gets fired from the show and you follow like what happened leading up to that and all the aftermath of that and how Reese Witherspoon's character comes into the mix. And it's like this whole thing. This show was so well done. It covers some of the hardest topics in a really, really smart way. It's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area that you're seeing, which is real life and, you know, everything gets taken into account. And there is so much behind the scenes manipulation and cover ups and scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, that type of thing. And oh man, it was just so good. And people start losing their minds and just all these things. I was seriously just, I loved the first season. Season 2 is completely out. I have not watched it yet, but it's on deck. And I know it's been renewed for season 3 as well. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm definitely excited to keep going. Billy Crudup in this show was everything. His character and the way he played his character was so fantastic. Oh my gosh. You want to see a pot stirrer? That one right there. It was great. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. Okay, the next one is another show that just started recently and it came out at the end of December. And so we only watched the first season because that's all that there is. But this is the Book of Boba Fett and this was on Disney+. This is the newest addition to the Star Wars universe. And this follows what happened to Boba Fett. Okay, so it goes a little back and forth. So you find out what happened to him right after what happened in the original trilogy when Boba Fett was swallowed by that sand monster and he disappeared. So everyone thought he was dead. Not so much. We find out in The Mandalorian that he's not dead. So you find out what happened right after that to get him to where he was today when we meet him in The Mandalorian. So the timelines kind of coincide that way, which is really cool. So you do find that out. You're also following like real time, you know, leading up to meeting the Mandalorian. So you're kind of like almost in 2 past timelines than you've already been in before. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, so you find out all this stuff about him and, you know, how he met Fennec and now they're working together and you know that. So it was really cool just to kind of see how it all blended together and just, you know, see how he got from point A to point B and then from this point A to point B. And it was good. I will say the series, you know, like the season started out a little bit slow. There were a few episodes that were just like, oh, okay, fine. We got more information. But it wasn't like anything super thrilling. But the last probably 3 episodes, stellar, really, really good, really good. Like my husband and Layla and I were all super excited for like the last couple of episodes there because it just got really good. So that was awesome. We did really enjoy it. That's one that we watched every week because my daughter Layla is Star Wars fanatic. So she was very excited for every week that Boba Fett was coming on. She would be like, it's Boba Fett time. So it was funny. But yeah, so we did watch that full first season. I do not know if they're going to continue with this or if they're just going to continue with the Mandalorian thing because you kind of like run into the ending of Mandalorian as well. So it's like, I don't know how they're going to continue going on with all these or not. If they're just going to be blended from here on out, I'm not quite sure. So I guess we'll wait for news on that, but we did watch it. And the last one is another one that just recently started and the entire first season is out. It's 9 episodes and that is Reacher. And this is on Amazon Prime. So this show is based on the Jack Reacher series by Lee Child. And there have been movies starring Tom Cruise with him playing Jack Reacher. Now, I've seen those movies and they were good. But I will say, I do know that the character of Jack Reacher is described in the books as being tall, huge, like a giant almost, and blonde. And they cast Tom Cruise in the movies, who is short, black hair, and not considered like huge. Okay. All right. So, I mean, I wasn't mad at it. I do like Tom Cruise as an actor. I think he's a fantastic actor. So like he didn't butcher it or anything, but he didn't really fit the character either. Now in the TV show, Alan Ritchson fits the character to a T. So Jack Reacher is an ex-Army veteran, and he has shown up in this small town in Georgia, just randomly strolls into town, literally, and he is looking for his brother. His brother has gone missing. He is trying to locate him, and all these clues are leading to this small town in Georgia. On getting into town, there have been a couple of murders that happen almost immediately when he gets there, and so he is the prime suspect, because he's the outsider. All of a sudden, this guy comes into town and there's some dead people. What's going on? So they immediately think that it's him. So they are trying to pin it on him. They can't do it because he didn't do this. And he is there, you know, trying to locate his brother and try to find out what's going on, uncovering a whole bunch of things that are happening in the small town that nobody knew about. He ends up working with the local police department and the detectives to try to solve what's going on in their town. And it was really great. My husband and I just like could not get enough. It was so good. The acting is really, really good. The people who played the characters were just perfect, and the action is really good. Now this is very, there's some gruesome stuff. So I will say that there's definitely nudity as well. So like this is not for kids at all. But it would go through a little bit of up and down. So it would be like a little slow, like we're getting story. They're starting to uncover things. Okay. And then it was like boom, boom, boom. And you're like, whoa. Like, but really like in a good way. So yeah, it was great. I really, really liked it a lot. And fun fact, Alan Ritchson, who stars in the show, is from my hometown, went to high school with my sister and my brother-in-law. They know him. Like he grew up with my brother-in-law. And so that's pretty cool. I never got to meet him because I didn't go to school there, but, yeah, so I have a really small degree of separation from him, which is really cool. Like he literally knows my sister. So it's pretty awesome. And yeah, she said it's really weird to see him like out and about and like on big screens and all that stuff. She said it's so weird, but it's cool. Okay, so those are the most recent shows that I have binged, and I'm definitely in a binging mode right now. Like I'm currently going through just wanting to watch some shows and kind of finishing some things up. So I'm definitely in that mood right now. So I'm anticipating to have another one before too long. Definitely. I already have one under my belt, which is fun, but yeah. So that's what I've been binging lately. Let me know what you guys have watched. Have you watched any of the ones that I just talked about? Let me know that. Are you interested in any of them? Let me know that as well. And tell me what you guys have watched. What are some of your favorite TV shows? I want to know. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day.